Greetings, everyone. This is Rich Bowman, IT manager at John Crossan School, and I'm coming on here because I wanted to do a breakdown, a really concise video to talk about what we spoke about last week when we talked about AI. I know many people weren't able to attend, given that it was at noon on a weekday. Totally understand that. And so I wanted to make this video so that everyone had a chance to really collect what was being said that day. We spent the lion's share of our time talking about AI, artificial intelligence, talking about what it is, how it is trying to mimic human behavior, how it's evolving, and really the speed of that evolution. And so if you ever feel like you're not totally grasping what this whole AI thing is in the first place, trust me, you're not alone, right? It is evolving extremely quickly and in many different facets of life. But for us here at John Crossan, one of the things that's most important to us is how it's going to impact our students. And I would say we are doing that in three ways. The first one is interaction. And so we have not shied away from exposing our students to artificial intelligence and the tools that come with it. We use them in the classroom. I know in my STEAM class we've used it quite a bit, both from the user side and from the programming side, in terms of getting a understanding of how it's working, seeing how it breaks sometimes, seeing the mistakes sometimes, but also seeing kind of the magic of it, when it actually does work. The second thing is we've done a ton of conversation. I know especially students that have had my class, we've talked, and then also later this week, or rather next week, the students will be attending a assembly where I'm going to talk to them again about artificial intelligence. But we talk about rights, we talk about plagiarism, we talk about accuracy of what we're getting from the AI. And so these conversations are vital, and it allows us to not just be the arbiters of what you can and cannot do with AI, but rather how can we empower students to think critically about this new technology themselves. And then the third thing, of course, is boundaries. And so we want to make sure that students are not plagiarizing, that they're not passing off work as their own that just isn't, right? We don't want to encourage that practice. And so we've definitely put some analog but also some digital things into effect that can detect when they are just copy paste things from what AI has generated. And again, it leads back to conversations with students about how you can utilize this tool in a way that isn't just assuming this information to be yours, how you can use it to as a tool to get to your answer, not necessarily to just kind of give you something that you can regurgitate. And so we're really committed to that. I know I am super committed to that. I want an educated group of students who know how to utilize this technology in a way that honors their own integrity, right? And so that's something that is super important. A lot of times, parents, caregivers can kind of feel like, I'm not totally an expert here. I'm not, this is not necessarily my wheelhouse. This technology is so new. I'm not even sure the extent of what it is. What are some things that you can do at home to kind of get the conversation started? And I think the best thing is just to jump in. I recommend Google Gemini and or Chat GPT and just load it up and start to play. One of the things that I even do with my own family is we'll just write stories together, and they're crazy and they're funny, using AI, and it's just a fun way to start interacting with the technology. Get your feet wet. It doesn't have to be super educational or didactic in any way. So yeah, that would be my first thing. And then the second one is to have conversations about like how do you feel about this? Just getting in touch with what your child feels about AI. Do they feel like they're a little scared of it? I know some students might be, and then there's a conversation to have there. And what could the future of it look like? What are the ethics behind it? And I think the more we're able to engage our students with conversation, courageous conversation around some of these technologies, I think we'll do a better job of making sure that they do it in a way that honors their integrity versus looking for ways to kind of use it to skip over some things or to get out of an assignment here or there. And I think we want to empower our kids, and I know you all want that as well. And so that was basically that was a synopsis of what we talked about. And so again, we're following up with students next week Thursday for a talk, an assembly about AI, where I'll be talking a lot about the same things I'm talking about on here, and continuing the conversation and continuing the exposure so that we are continuing to prepare our kids for a world that doesn't really exist yet, right, for the future. And so we're doing and being committed to being at the forefront of this technology.